This is Ark Survival Evolved. We're here on Nintendo Switch 2. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is a very interesting port and or version of Ark. This is a game that is incredibly demanding to run on different platforms. The Survival Evolved was kind of the baseline version of the game. Then we have the remake, Survival Ascended, which is on the other console platforms. I'm hoping at some point the Nintendo Switch to get something a little bit more intensive, but for now we're going to be diving in and talking about what this version of the game has to offer. So for context, there was an original version of Ark for Switch, and it was terrible. Like, genuinely horrendous. Like, one of the worst running looking games I've ever seen in my days. I don't know if I have a video of it still on the channel, but like that was bad. And if you think this looks bad, you should have seen that version of Ark, because wow, that was truly a remarkably terrible version of this game. Like seriously, genuinely awful. And they eventually had a team come in and they made this port of the game. So this port of the game is still quite a stripped down version of Ark, and it's quite limited, but we do get the benefit of the Switch 2 basically maxing out what this can do. Now, I'm hoping, like I said, that we eventually get a proper version of this upgraded. I don't think Survival Ascended, maybe Survival Ascended could come on to Switch 2. Maybe. It wouldn't run well, but they could, in theory, maybe get it going on here. And that would be fascinating. But I think for this version, they could easily come in and uncap it or bump up the visuals a bit more, and I definitely think this would be a better experience for sure. But for now, when we take a look at this, it's not too bad looking. Like, obviously, it is an incredibly stripped down version of Ark from other platforms, but we get the benefit of like the full resolution, and we get a locked frame rate here. So for context, like again, the original version of Ark was genuinely terrible. Are you eating my base, or you're just eating like a bird? Um, how do I ride this? I think I gotta get to like a certain part of it. I think this is my dinosaur. Oh, there we go. I just wasn't hitting the right thing. So, look at this big dinosaur. It's kind of funny because like that version was just, oh wow, that was really bad. I can't get over how bad that was. And oh, and if you need cheats, I got a great video that goes over like cheating and stuff, so that you can enjoy things a little bit better. But yeah, I am actually quite happy with this. So what we're getting here is just a full 1080p. In the past, it was dynamic scaling, so you would like lose resolution quality, but you know, with the overhead on the Switch 2, it's just a full 1080p. And it is locked to 30 FPS, which sucks. You see that on the right-hand side of the screen there, with the in-game FPS counter. Yeah, just a locked 30 FPS, which makes sense because again, there's quite a bit of overhead performance-wise over what we had on the Switch 1. So, like, in theory, I think they could, like I said, at the base minimum, come in here and, like, upgrade some of the environment. Like, they could add a little bit more plant life, you know, increase flora and fauna, and, you know, kind of get more stuff going on in the game, and I think they could uncap this, and I think it would be okay. It's actually a bit of a shame that this game does have frame rate cap. I was kind of looking for ways to see if I could get around that as far as, like, commands and stuff, but, nope. So, in the game settings, there's also lots of stuff to adjust graphics-wise, so you can do like light bloom, light shadows. We got everything on because, you know, it can handle this. You can play as first, third, different gameplay settings, and there's different maps too. Like, you know, there's Scorched Earth and stuff. There's not as many maps as other platforms, but, you know. And then there's console commands, so you can do that in the options. You turn on console commands. Might be like a main menu thing. It's, yeah, right over here, console access, and then you can use the minus button in the menu here, and it'll pop up a little thing, and you can type in your various commands to do stuff. Like, it's a separate video going over that. We're here to talk about this game. So, like, I think the results here are kind of good for Switch as far as taking a game that, like, ran horribly bad and just kind of, like, maxes it out. It's not an ideal way to necessarily play this game. Like, if you have this on other platforms, I would go for it on that, because this is like, wow, a raptor jumped off the cliff to attack us. That's crazy. You know, like, this is a bit outdated as far as content. Like, obviously they've since remade this game. It's Survival Ascended now. Survival Evolved kind of just got, like, sent to the side, and there's a little bit more limited content here on the Switch, but I do have high hopes that they will work out eventually a new version of this game, and hopefully I'll be there to take a look at it again. Because I have seemingly played this on everything. And it makes sense, because, like, obviously I cover it well on every platform. Like, it's actually a big view getter for me on the channel, which is kind of funny, which is why I'm diving into it on the Switch here. And it's like, I love doing this where we get to, wow, there's a lot of giant mosquitoes out here. I love revisiting games that were kind of like a bit of a nightmare, if that makes sense, on different platforms, to see them on future platforms, or, well, their current platforms, in order to see how much they've improved. And this was always one of those literally, like, legendary games for just being an absolute nightmare. Like, even though this was a better version of the game, it was still, like, it still wasn't, like, quite up to snuff. So this is quite impressive. Could you imagine if I didn't have this? I got killed? Really? Dino! Is my dino eating me? Wow. I think Dino kind of just, like, left for dead. They, like, Alfred D'd me. This is so funny, because it's like, it is so archaic compared to what I had, like, as far as, like, playing this on other platforms. I guess I should have put it on God mode so I couldn't get killed, but where would be the fun in that, right? Oh, my T-Rex is so far away. That's terrible for business. But yeah, it's a massive open world where you go and you do kind of missions. You can play it, like, locally. Usually there's, like, a robust online selection too, depending on the game version you're playing. Lots of different creatures. There is, like, a bit of a backbone story. This game is mostly just for people to survive. Like, honestly, that's kind of the focus of it, is trying to see if you can last and thrive with all the dinos that are out everywhere, all fighting each other. There's other monsters too, but it's like, you know, it's mostly dinosaurs. It is funny, like, one of my favorite things, and I'm looking forward to doing this more over the course of the next generation, is, like, one of my favorite things is just seeing the Switch, because it's basically, like, how bad in games look, if that makes sense. Like, it's literally, like, a worst case scenario for games, is, like, how they look on the Switch. So it's very neat to dive in and take a look at a game like this and just be like, alright, how's it looking? How's it playing on this platform? And then, like, diving in and talking about it. I get such a genuine joy out of that sort of a thing, because it's just quite fascinating to see how they make these games work on all these different platforms. Okay, let's just bump the rest of the health. And then, like, you know, the end results are always quite magical, and then I kind of go, like, okay, if they were to do a proper version of this game, what would it look like? That's the biggest thing with Switch 2 that I'm a little underwhelmed by, or a little shocked by, is just, like, the lack of games that are fully updated to support it, like, at launch and stuff. It just seems like there really wasn't anything at all. Like, it was just such a paltry selection of content. Yeah, which year either those games hit the mark for you or they don't. But yeah, it would have been nice to see some of the larger titles like this, larger third-party stuff, get, like, updates and support. Okay, so usually there's, like, a marker where you, like, died. And I'm not really seeing that at all. But yeah, no, I genuinely think this game certainly has a lot more overhead for it as far as performance potential. Like, I actually feel like this is quite limited. Where's my giant red scary dino? Are you over there? Did you kill those guys? Like, dangerous. But yeah, it's just like a straight up locked level of performance. Oh, these things are gonna just absolutely eat me alive, all these crocodiles. These little dinos. I am basically like a free snack for these guys, because I don't have anything. Trying to get over here to grab my items and stuff and get back on the horse. Wow. The horse, sorry, the dino. Dino, help me! Oh, come on! Big red dino kind of left me for dead on that one. But hey, it actually runs pretty good stuff. Like, I was pretty blown away, though. Like, by this version of the game when they did release it. Because as bad as this may look to you, how do I go higher? There we go. As bad as this version of the game may potentially look for you, trust me when I say that this is like eons above what we've what we had when this first launched on the Switch. It really was kind of bad. Oh, is it doing a thing where it's gotta like load for a second? Is that what's happening here? Oh, I've got to respawn. I died? Did I freeze to death? Well, that doesn't make any sense. I died because I flew too far to the sun. Hey, look, there's like one of the thingies here. I know, Dodo. Scary, right? An ethereal thing. All this stuff is so rough around the edges. I really think they can do better. I would, yeah, I would love to see them take a crack at, seeing if they could get this to run. Can I actually use this? Oh, it's a blueprint. I'd love to see if they could get Survival Ascended running on this thing. That would be such a neat technical thing. But you'd have to... It would be so demanding, because like even on, say, playing something on like Series X or like the base PS5, even there, it's kind of like rough to kind of run it there, if that makes sense. Like it's not... It's not in a good setup. Or is my only last bag still here? Oh, these dinos causing problems. Did I lose all my other items? Dino, you're supposed to protect me against all these creatures. You're doing a very bad job of that, Mr. Dinosaur. He's an alpha T-Rex. These guys should just be a joke. The AI in this game is probably just like, what's going on? Yeah, I definitely did not make it back in time, did I? T-Rex! I killed myself. I don't know, I'm pretty sure it was the giant dinosaur that was eating me alive. I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's also neat because like a lot of the gameplay mechanics and stuff and like systems in this are very antiquated. Honestly, compared to what I'm used to on Arc for other platforms, it's very funny to see that this is the state of things, as to say. Kind of a little disappointed we didn't get, you know, I wasn't able to get my other stuff. Can I grab this while it's in the sky? No, these like weird drops of mythical things. Anyways, let's see if we can grab my stuff and then get out of here. Where'd Rex go? Did they kill him? Did he die? It makes it look like I can fight this giant creature. Wow, they actually killed my T-Rex. I'm actually so disheartened about that. I'm so hot right now. Yeah, I know. So hot here. Lost all my gear and stuff. What a heartbreaker. What a heartbreaker that was. Seriously, everybody died. But like Ark offers a lot. It's just kind of neat to dive in and like take a look at this on the Switch 2 here, just to get an idea of like how it's improved. And it's like, yeah, there's a nice bit of overhead. But I do this for like all the consoles and stuff, and people are so weird about it because they don't really. I guess I don't really blame console users, but a lot of them don't seem to understand what like dynamic resolution scaling is and stuff, or how that applies to games and makes them better when you play them on different systems. That's other stuff. So it's like it just makes the games in theory run better, but I mean there are limits to it as well as like what the thresholds are. But yeah, no, it's definitely a better version of Ark here for the platform, as in like it runs better. What more could you really want out of this sort of thing? I guess is an experience that like runs better. I mean, I'd like my T-Rex to still be alive. That would be phenomenal and stuff like that. But for a Switch, you know, it's kind of nice. I guess also, like, if you are playing this on the mobile, like, undocked, like, on the go, it is going to be limited to 720p, but that'll be locked, too, at the 30 FPS counter. It would have been so cool if this game actually had, you know, the option to uncap the frame rate, because then we could really, in theory, see more of what this game can actually do, if that makes sense. Like, there's, well, I guess what the console can do, because I think it is probably more capable than it is. Got all these, like, axe skins and stuff, kind of just useless if you think about it. And large chunks of prime meat, which will all go bad before I ever get to use it. Which is the biggest shame there ever was. These metal stone things that don't do anything for me. Regardless, I think, yeah, you'll be happier with how it runs on the platform. They are going to have to do a proper version of this game to take advantage of Switch 2 at some point down the road. I have no idea when that'll happen. But, yeah, as far as like a back-and-pack kind of thing, we definitely are reaping the benefits of something that does run a bit better. It still looks horrendous, but as far as the Switch goes, you know, it's not bad. I think the Switch 2 is certainly capable of more density, more environmental density, more animal density. It is certainly capable of a more intense version, but it would be really cool if they just, you know, quick update to this one, just uncap the frame rate. I think in theory it should be fine. And then work on seeing if Survival Ascended is possible on here. And like honestly, I don't know if Survival Ascended is possible for this version, like on this console. Like it would be really, it would be genuinely a technical accomplishment. I don't know if DLSS could be the game breaker there that actually gets this kind of going well, because it's a UE5 game, Ark Survival Ascended, and it's just like, it really is a tremendous challenge getting UE5 stuff running on the consoles, and then on top of that, you know, a situation where the Switch is like a handheld, right? Like, that makes it a little harder to handle. But I do think Switch 2 could easily do more than it's doing. Like, obviously, even at this state, it's doing 1080p 30, like, locked, so... Yeah, it's definitely not... This isn't the full potential of Switch 2 I want to get across. If anything, it's like... Yeah, they could definitely take this a bit further, but... I think that's mostly the game, right? Like, if I talk about it more, you know, you kind of... a lot of you probably know what Ark is. You just survive, fight various creatures, get to an endgame situation where you got them tamed, and you're ready to battle, and then you're fighting... you know, these larger crazy things. And then you'll have, like, your arsenal of weapons and tools, and you can build nice housing, and, you know, kind of build up a tribe thing if you do cooperative play, and... It's really quite an impressive game. It's a game that never seems to run on any platform particularly well. But, it's neat. It really is, like, obviously it's got its fans, and I can't wait to see them do something with Arc on the Switch 2 eventually, and for now, that's kind of just what we've got, and it's better than what it was, and I think that's what is important. Oh, come on!